What relative wouldn't let you date? I discovered my aunt had been breaking into my apartment for months, replacing all my clothes with shapeless sweaters and swapping my makeup for products that made my skin break out. My Aunt Rachel had always been paranoid about men. When I was growing up, she'd quiz every boy who came near me and made me carry pepper spray to school starting in 6th grade. She'd tell me horror stories about what men could do and wouldn't let me go to sleepovers if brothers would be home. My mom tried to balance her out, but Aunt Rachel lived next door and inserted herself into everything. I thought moving 2 hours away after college would give me space, but distance just made her sneakier. She'd call every night asking if I'd checked my locks and whether any men had bothered me that day. When I told her about my breakup with Jack, she drove down immediately and stayed for a week, constantly reminding me that I was better off alone. One evening I came home early from work with a migraine and found Aunt Rachel in my bedroom with a pair of scissors, cutting the neckline of my dress higher. She had a key she'd copied during her visit after the breakup and had been making my apartment safer for months. She pulled out a notebook and showed me her list. Replace fitted clothes with baggy ones, swap makeup for expired products, install extra locks, cut hair shorter, remove all wine and romantic movies. When I said I was calling the police, she showed me her phone. She had screenshots of my medical records from the clinic where she worked as an administrator. The records showed treatments for multiple STDs and 3 pregnancy terminations that never happened. She said any employer who ran a medical background check would see them. Any man I dated could request my health history. My parents would be devastated. The records looked completely legitimate because they were in the actual system. My makeup either did nothing or gave me rashes, so I stopped wearing it entirely. She'd installed 3 deadbolts on my door that took forever to unlock. While I slept, she'd trimmed my hair unevenly, so I had to keep cutting it shorter to fix it. My windows had new locks that barely let them open an inch. Aunt Rachel had set up cameras and motion sensors. If a delivery guy stood at my door too long, she'd call screaming about stranger danger. She'd replaced my birth control with vitamins because she said I didn't need it anyway. She threw out my razors and hair removal cream because smooth skin attracted predators. She even swapped my perfume with bug spray. I found out she'd been adding supplements to my food. My coffee tasted bitter because she'd been mixing in some herb that supposedly decreased libido. My yogurt had grainy texture from protein powder meant to make me gain weight. She'd poked holes in my fruit to inject vitamin concoctions. Every time I tried to fight back, she'd remind me about the medical records. She'd say one request from any insurance company would reveal my history. One background check from a serious boyfriend would show I was damaged goods. She had me trapped in this protective prison with official documents that would follow me forever. I started believing it was manageable until my coworker Emma asked to grab drinks after work. When she saw my apartment with all its locks and my wardrobe of potato sacks, I broke down and told her everything. She was shocked and said this wasn't protection, it was control. She helped me realize how insane my life had become. Emma came with me to change the locks and buy new clothes. For 2 weeks, I kept Aunt Rachel out. She'd stand in the hallway wailing about how men would hurt me without her protection. She left voicemails listing every woman who'd ever been harmed by a man. I ignored them all. I was finally free to be myself again. Aunt Rachel lost it when she couldn't get in. She called my parents saying I was having a breakdown and dating dangerous men. She told my boss I was too traumatized to work with male clients. She called the police saying Emma was drugging me. She even contacted my ex Jack warning him to stay away or she'd accuse him of abuse. Then she got desperate. She bribed my landlord to let her in for a wellness check. I'd come home to find new locks installed, my clothes replaced again, all my makeup thrown out. She'd leave notes saying this was tough love and if I removed anything, she'd update my medical records with worse diagnoses. She started showing up at my office with homemade lunches in front of my coworkers, loudly asking if any men had bothered me. She told people I had PTSD and needed constant monitoring. But Aunt Rachel made a crucial error. While installing a new deadbolt, she left her tablet behind. It was still logged into the clinic system with her administrator access. I could see the entire history of alterations she'd made to my records, with timestamps and her user ID on every fake entry. She'd even kept notes about what conditions would seem most believable and damaging. I screenshotted everything and finally had proof of her deception. Full story on channel, link below.